Hey guys, what's up? Nick here once again, and we're doing another Sony Vegas Pro 17 tutorial. And today we're going to be looking at audio editing, basically for beginners. We'll have a few other advanced steps in this video, but for the most part, this is for anybody who's pretty new to Sony Vegas, and they don't really understand how to edit audio very well. But I will say with Sony Vegas Pro, it's an excellent software for video editing, yes, but honestly, I think it's even better for audio editing, and the reason for that we're going to get into. So first things first, you got your whole timeline set up here. Now, your entire layout may look different than it does for me, and that's just because I edited it the way I wanted to. I stretched these to be where I wanted them to. If you want to know how to edit all these modules, I would recommend checking out my video editing for beginners video. I do have a separate tutorial for that. I may have a link to it on this video right now. Go check it out. Anyway, the first thing you want to do is you're going to right-click in your timeline area, and we're going to do Insert Audio Track, because we're going to want to add audio. This first part of the video is strictly just going to be for audio only. I will later on in the video show what it's like with an actual video clip. So the next thing you want to do is actually import some audio into your timeline. So we're going to go up here to Import Media, and then we're going to look for some sound effects. I already have open my sound effects folder, which just has some random music and stuff that's non-copyright. It's free to use. If you want a website that has free-to-use music, literally just type in royalty-free music on Google. This is where I found a lot of these. This is one I use in a lot of my review videos. It's just a really catchy background track that works nice for all types of media, and it is Spyro the Dragon, one of my favorite games of all time, but it's a remix, and it's free to use. Now, basically, once you drag it down into your timeline here, it's going to fill up the entire area. This is a 3-minute clip. And from here, we can do a lot of the same editing as you can on a video clip, which includes cutting. So if you want to select a certain area and cut it, you just hit the S as in Sally on the keyboard. It will then split your audio clip right there. Pretty nice, pretty simple, not too much to get into there. Another cool thing is you can adjust the volume for the entire track with this dial here. So if you want to have it like a background track per se, if you have a video file with its own audio and you want to have this as a separate layer with its background track not taking over your main audio, you just turn that down, start playing it, and then boom, you got some background track music, which is pretty cool. The dial down here is your center, so if you do for some reason want to edit maybe on the left side of to come out basically of your left side of your speakers or on the right only, that's the slider is for. You can go get some pretty cool surround sound effects with this, but I don't really use it too often, and I'd recommend staying away from it. You can also mute the entire track if you are editing with multiple tracks at once and you want to just listen to one and not the other. You can just hit the mute there, and that'll mute the whole track. You can also have it solo, so same kind of concept, just the opposite of basically the invert of mute. So if you were, again, if you had multiple tracks and you wanted just to listen to this one and mute all the others, you just hit solo and press play. Now, if you wanted to adjust the volume for just a certain section and not just the entire track, there's a couple ways to do this. I'd say the easiest way is to do it like this. So let's say there's just one section, right, that you want to lower the volume. So we're going to zoom in here just using the scroll wheel. And what I'm going to do is, let's say this section right here I want to cut. So we're going to hit S on the keyboard. So we have this one little section here, and this is the section we want to, let's say, lower the volume. Easiest way is just to go to the very top, and you'll see this gain, basically gain option will appear just for being at the top of the clip. If you click and drag down, you'll notice this white bar appear, and you can actually adjust the volume just like that. And the cool thing is, Sony Vegas has a visual representation of how loud the volume is, as well as moving this white bar up and down. And it also gives you your gain decibels, so your -7 decibels and so on, which is really, really helpful. So if you want half volume, boom. Now that section, let's listen to it, will be half volume. You can hear that. That's a pretty big difference. Super cool, super easy, super fast. And yeah, that's 99% of the time, that's how I adjust the volume on clips. There's a separate way to do this as well if you don't want to mess with the gain and doing it this way. You can also right-click on this one section, and we're going to go up to Audio Event Effects. Click on that, and this is your effects window that shows every single audio effects that you have. And surprisingly, Sony Vegas Pro has a ton of options for audio editing, which is pretty awesome. So the one we're going to use, though, is the FX volume. You click on that, you highlight it, and then hit Add up in the corner, and then we'll hit OK. Now this little window will pop here, and this is your volume. And from here, same kind of concept. We can either make it louder or you can make it quieter. Very cool, very useful. This is another way to edit the volume, if you don't want to mess around with the gain. One cool thing too is all of these are separate from each other. So all these volume levels are separate. So let's say I really wanted this to be super like ear destroying loud, right? One way you could do that is add the audio event effects, the volume, have it all the way up. Next, you want to make sure the gain is all the way up. Third, you want to click that one section and drag it down. And if you ever click and drag any type of section down, it will automatically make a new audio track. Same thing goes for if you have a video clip, it'll make a new video track, which is pretty nice, pretty simple. So now that we have this separated, it'll still play. Like if you listen to it, even that's going to be super loud. See, it gets really loud because of that effect I have on there. Now you can make it even louder because it has its own track by going over to volume slider and boom. And now it is extremely loud. Hear the difference in this. Oh yeah, hear that bass. So that's kind of how if you wanted to make like a meme video or something like that to have that really extra bass sound, that's literally the easiest way to do it. Now, there is a third option for changing the volume, or actually this would be a fourth option now. The fourth option to change the volume would be to, again, take your clip, whether it's the whole song or just a part of it like I have here. We're going to drag it to its own timeline, or sorry, to its own audio track. So we already have a new one made here, but we're just going to say this is a brand new audio track. Leave that at 0 decibels, so just like normal. And from here, we're going to go over to the track itself and right-click on it. And then we're going to go up to Insert/Remove Envelopes, and we're going to add an envelope for volume. You can add one for mute, for panning, again, that's from left to right, or an automation. So we're going to do volume. And you see this blue bar will appear. It's kind of faint, and I'm sorry about that, but it's a blue bar here. And if you double-click, you can add your own pinpoints. So for instance, you want to add one at the very beginning of your clip that's going to change in volume, and one at the end. That's what I recommend to begin with. Now, what you can do with this volume slider, I'm going to call it, it's an envelope, but what you can do with this is if you add a pinpoint, from that pinpoint you can drag it. As you can see, it goes up or down. And this, in essence, is raising or lowering the volume as the timeline is going over. So, for an example, let's say at the beginning here we have it normal, so the volume is going to be a normal setting. But let's say we want to gradually get louder, just gradually get louder as the clip goes on. So the very last button that we made here, the last pinpoint, we're going to drag it all the way up. So as you can see, we have a nice gradual incline. Now listen very closely, but you'll hear the volume get louder. There we go. And you can also make this faster or slower depending on the way you want it by just dragging in the point. So as you can see, it's going to get louder a lot faster now. And vice versa, you can drag it out. And you can also have as many as you want. If you want to have it go all wonky, you add another one in here by double clicking. And then boom, you can have it go really quiet and then increase to get really loud. There's a lot of possibilities that you can do with envelopes, which is super, super awesome. It's a really nice and easy way to edit audio with Sony Vegas. So definitely something to look into, even if you're not an expert with the program. Obviously, this is a tutorial you're looking up. I'm not saying everyone's an expert. I'm not even saying I'm an expert. But I think even a beginner can use envelopes and have a lot of fun with them. And they come really, really in handy. And look at this. Like, so if you listen, this is how it's going to go. Fades away. And then comes right back. You can have some cool effects with that. Kind of fade away again. And so that's essentially editing the volume in Sony Vegas. Again, there's 4 major ways to do it. I've shown you all the ways I like to do it. Again, the easiest way is just to use the gain slider that's on top of every single audio file, essentially, that you drag into the timeline. Super, super easy. Some other effects you can do, let's go back into that effects window. Again, it's going to appear on every single clip with the giant FX event effects symbol. Click on that. We got a lot of options here. I'm not going to go through every single one because that'll be a 3-hour long video. I don't want you guys sitting here for that long. But some major ones that I like to use, especially if I'm editing vocals in like a song or something, chorus is a really good one, distortion, reverb, equalization, graphics EQ, pitch shift, smooth and enhance, and then track EQ, and then again volume. Those are the ones that I normally use when I'm editing audio. I'm not going to go through all of them, but just for an example, I'm going to add reverb, chorus. Let's do pitch shift because this one's kind of fun. Smooth enhance is a really, really nice one. We already saw volume. Let's just do distortion. Why not? All right, so we got all these added here. You can see once this little video or this window pops up, you can actually stretch it out too so you see a little better. We have all these different effects in here as well. Now, I clicked the EFX Reverb Edition. I'm actually going to get rid of that one. If you ever add an effect that you don't want, you just highlight it and then go to the little X up here to remove it. If you want to add one, kind of the same concept, just hit the plugin chain. All your effects will pop back up, but I want the regular reverb. The Express effects are the brand new versions. I haven't even myself had time to tinker around with them. Maybe I'll have a separate video tutorial in the future when I get to use them myself. But for right now, we're going to use the regular reverb FX. Again, we're going to hit add, okay. And there we go. So we have all of our effects ready to go. Now, each one of these has their own options, their own look to them. This is kind of going to be obvious. The reverb is used if you want to add some type of echo to your song or you're talking, like you want to sound like you're in some type of big hallway, and vice versa. It comes really in handy with vocals for music, or if you just want to have more professional sound, if you're like doing a podcast or something. Distortion is pretty self-explanatory. It's to distort the sound. This is used again if you want to make like a meme videos or something like that. Distortion is going to come in handy for those funny comedic moments. Smooth enhance is really, really useful. I always before ending any video, go in here and I add a smoothing effect, just a little bit. Sometimes if my sound clips are really, really quiet, like if for some reason I didn't check the volume levels for recording a video, I will use the enhance because all it really does is it increases the volume a little bit. So in a way, it's the fifth way to edit volume, but I would never use this for just adding volume in general. But it also just enhances the audio in general, makes stuff more easier to hear. But yeah, more often than not, I use it on smooth, which essentially dampers the audio. So if you hear a lot of background noise, stuff like that, it'll help damper that and make the main audio sound a lot clearer. Pitch shift is also really fun to use. I always recommend doing the preserve the duration. If you don't do that, essentially it's going to stretch your video clip out or your audio clip out. It's not going to make sense to the actual sound clip, or it's not going to line up with your video file anymore. So always preserve duration, make sure that's checked. The mode doesn't really matter. There are differences with each one of these. As you can see, some of them have less echo. I usually do one that has less echo, so we're going to do music 3. Accuracy, I leave it at the middle. And then this is where you can edit the actual sound of it. So we're going to do an example of this. I'm going to turn off the rest of these for right now. Just uncheck them and you won't hear them. And let's move the shift up, the pitch I should say. Let's move that up. So moving it up, the numbers will be positive. If you move it down, they're negative. So we're going to move it up to 5. Now if we listen to this, you can hear the difference. This works a lot better with just clean vocals or if you're just talking, because it'll make you sound like a chipmunk, basically. If we lower it, it's going to make you sound like a demon. With music, it more a sense brings out the bass. If you bring it up, it brings out the treble, vice versa. I don't really know 100% what the shift pitch by means. I've never really messed with that. It's really just if you want to make your voice sound really squeaky, high-pitched and funny, pitch shift, and moving this top bar is the way to do it. If you want to make it sound like a demon, other way. That's pretty much it. Pitch shift is super useful, fun to use. And then chorus is the last one here. This one, again, is to add a type of layering to your sound if you are doing a chorus or you're editing music. Again, if you're using Sony Vegas to edit a music video or if you're putting together a song through Sony Vegas, which I've done before. Honestly, Sony Vegas works really well for audio editing purposes. You don't have to buy a whole separate audio system in order to edit it. You can make a whole song in Sony Vegas. Chorus is very useful. Again, it just adds a type of layering onto voices. I would not recommend this for an entire song. So if I were to add this to the song right now, it would sound like trash. As you can hear. Sounds really bad. But if you have it on just vocals, it's going to add a layer to it, or you can make this as an effect for maybe multiple people talking if you only have yourself talking, and stuff like that. Chorus is very, very useful. So those are just kind of the main effects that I use when I'm normally editing a video or a song or something like that in Sony Vegas. Reverb, I don't know if I talked about this really, but it just adds an echo to your video or to your sound, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to get out of there. No real need to go in there anymore. And again, if you want to get rid of the effects, you just hit the little X next to the F there, and they'll all go away. And that's it for the audio effects in Sony Vegas. One more thing we're going to get into before I bring in a video clip and show you how to edit the audio in a video file. The last thing is fades. This is the exact same way, again, in my beginner's video that I talked about how to add a fade effect on a video clip. The same way you do it on the audio, you just go up in this little corner where that blue arrow is, and make sure you see this little 90-degree angle show up, and it'll pop up saying fade out offset. Just click and drag it in, and there you go. You got an easy fade. So again, the audio will just kind of fade out from existence. Just like that. So a perfect ending to a video, or maybe a beginning to the video you want to slowly fade in. Same thing, just click and drag from the corner. I'm more than certain there's other ways to do that as well. I've never really messed with it. I'm more than certain you can use an envelope volume slider like I got down here to do the same effect. But why do that when it's just easy just to click and drag from the corner? It's already set up for you. Boom, bada bing, ready to go. So with that said, let's bring in a video file and we'll show you how to edit sound from there. All right, so I got a whole clean interface here. I got rid of the other stuff we were messing with. We're going to go to import media again. We're going to find a video file. So let me go into my stuff. We're going to bring in my most recent video, which is the Razer Huntsman Elite Keyboard Review. I kind of messed up the upload schedule on this one. It uploaded early and then it got released early and I had to cancel it and then release the next day. So not a lot of people knew this was uploaded. So please go check it out if you haven't seen it. I worked really hard on this video and I would love for you guys to see it. But anyway, so as you see, when you drag in a video clip, you're going to have the video. And if the video has audio, you're going to see the separate audio track. Sony Vegas is very smart about automatically adding the video track and the audio track together. And the same thing is if you move the video, you're going to bring the audio with it. They're never going to separate, which is super, super useful. But this can become a hassle. Now, let's say you want to, for some reason, separate the audio from the video file. I've done this a ton of times in the past and needed to, especially if you're like me and you record your audio separate from your video camera. So I don't use the audio for my video camera. I have a separate microphone. Now, let's say you got a third layer here, so we're going to insert audio track. So you got a second audio track, and you have that audio track for your external speaker that you record it with, right? Let's say you drag that in, you got it lined up perfectly with the audio from your video camera, and now you want to get rid of the video camera audio. Easiest way to do that is just to right-click the entire track that's on and just delete it, and there it goes. It goes away, but the video will stay. It'll just be muted until you bring in more music or whatever. We're going to undo that. But let's say there's a part in the video where the audio you wanted to keep, but you want to get rid of all the other audio because, again, you have the external microphone. Easier way to do this, you just, use the S key to split the video track and the audio together, just like that. And let's say we want to get rid of about this much space, right? So we got this entire section here that we just cut with the S key. Now we want to get rid of just this section. Again, easiest way to do this, just click and drag it down until there's a new area where there hasn't been an audio track made. Let go, it'll make a new audio track, and just right click and delete that audio track. That's the way I usually do it. It's super simple. Now, another way you can do this, and it's also very useful for other reasons that I probably won't really get into in this video, but this is a very useful trick. If you right click on the audio track, you will see an area called grouping. In the grouping section, we can create a new one, which we can't right now because it's already part of a group. Remove from, clear, select, cut, copy, delete. Now, you can delete it, but it will actually delete the video clip with it. So what you want to do first is hit remove from you. Now, what that means is it literally removes it from the video file. So as you can see now, I can move that part of the audio away from the video without tampering with the video file. And again, now from here, you can just right click the audio part of it and delete. And it won't delete the video. So that is another way to do it. Again, the other way is a lot quicker, it's a lot faster. But this is also very useful for if you wanted to separate the audio from the video, if you wanted to just keep the audio and delete the video from it. This is the only way really to do that. I use this all the time when I'm editing. I use this all the time. So again, if you want to just keep the audio from the video and delete the video part, again, you just select the video, right click and delete. And now you have just the audio from it, which is, again, super, super helpful. So that is pretty much it for the basics of audio editing in Sony Vegas Pro 17. There is more I could have gotten into. Again, I literally could have went through every single audio effect that Sony Vegas has, but this would be like an hour to 2 hour video, and I really don't want to make that long of a video for you guys to sit through. So if you have any questions on anything that I may have missed or specific thing that you just cannot figure out with the audio in Sony Vegas, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I would love to get back to you, and I'll try to read every single one of you. On top of that, I will be continuing to make more tutorials for the future, so if you have any ideas for future tutorial videos, I would love to get suggestions from you guys, because I want to make videos that you want to watch. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're liking these tutorial videos. I really enjoy making them, and I like teaching people new skills. So leave a like to show your support as always, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.